Hey guys, if you were on our Snapchat today, it's Monday, it's my day, it's Cimorelli. Hi Charles. Yeah, at it's Cimorelli is our Snapchat. I was just like ranting about life, and I felt like the 10-second clip was just breaking it up too much. I need to just let my mind flow, so I came on here to talk to you guys a little bit. I don't know, it's just bothering me. I'm in this weird mood. Oh, hi Rachel. I keep thinking about how people live and how I live and things that I like to do and things that other people like to do. Hi, Maria. And I'm thinking about what the world tells us in general and how misleading it is. Hi, Lexi. And it's just bothering me. Like, being in LA for the weekend. Oh, hi, Charles. Being in LA for the weekend kind of shook me up because I haven't been there in so long and I haven't lived that lifestyle in so long. And all of a sudden, I was with, I was kind of like around entertainment industry stuff for the first time in a while. It just got me thinking. And it's not even that, just like in general, people have such a concept of what a good life is, right? What is a happy person? Oh, a happy, successful person has a lot of money, has a nice house, has a cool car, is really pretty, and like has like a bajillion followers online, and is in like really good shape, and I don't know, they're just like on top of the world, right? And I see these people, like I actually meet people who have a lot of things that the world would consider what makes a happy person. And I just like looking at them and I'm like, you're not really that happy. Like, what's going on here? And I've been thinking about this for a long time. Like, you guys, if you've read my Tumblr rants and whatnot, like, you know how I see the world, but I'm just kind of elaborating on that right now. I just feel like it's all a lie. Like, I keep saying like so much, I'm sorry. It's crazy how much the world promotes, society promotes this certain standard. Like, if you get here, if you do this, if you do that, if you do this, you will be on top of the world. Or if you have this and that and this and that, you're not doing so well. But in reality, all these things that the world is telling us that we need to get to be happy actually just cause more problems. Like, the more competitive you are, trying to like get to the top and like, oh, then I'll be happy. Like, okay, I have this kind of car, but when I get this kind of car, I'll be happy. Oh, I have this many followers, but when I hit 500 or 1,000 or a million or wherever you're at, this is the problem. There's always a new goal. Whatever goal you have, there's always a higher one. Even if you're like Kim Kardashian or whatever, like she can still have more followers than she does right now. Or like you're some like rich celebrity, like you have $10 million, you could have 20 million. Oh, you sold like a million copies of your album. Well, someone else sold 5 million. There's always someone in some way doing better than you. And that is the problem right there, okay? This is the problem because the world is telling you, like, once you get to a certain place, like, you'll be happy if you have certain things. But as soon as you get to the next level, there's 10 more levels. There's more levels. It never ends. And then, like, you're on Facebook. I'm on Facebook right now. And, well, I'm not on Facebook in this way that I'm talking about, but, like, you're on Facebook scrolling through, which I haven't had a personal Facebook in a long time, but my friends tell me about these experiences, so I know. You're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and you're just seeing everyone else's accomplishments, and you're like, oh, look what these people are doing. Oh, you're seeing all these like levels above you, or like people your age doing certain things. Oh, everyone's moving out, everyone's getting married, everyone's having babies, or everyone's graduating high school, or whatever age you are, whatever people are doing, it's like, okay, I have to get on board. I have to be doing the same things. I have to be keeping up. Oh my gosh. Keeping up. Everyone is always trying to keep up. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just burped. And we're all in this race. We're all trying. I mean, I don't actually, truthfully, I don't really feel like I'm doing this, but I watch it happen, and I have my own issues, but, this is not my problem, but I have other issues that I struggle with, so it's not like my life's so perfect. But anyway, we're all comparing ourselves to each other, or like each other's accomplishments or whatever, all day. It's like, what are the neighbors doing? What are your friends doing? What are your enemies doing? How much money are the people around you making? I just got a reminder to write my journal. I'm going to do that in an hour. Anyway, How much money are your friends making? Who are your friends dating? What school are your friends going to? Ooh, you're my age. Oh, your friends are getting engaged, or your friends are having a baby. Oh my gosh, her baby is so cute. I'm very happy for her. There's just like a lot going on, and it's so easy to feel like everyone else is like getting it figured out and you're not, and everyone else is like going through life and collecting all the milestones, and you're just this random person lost in the sea trying to navigate, and everyone else has it all figured out and you're just struggling to keep up. But in reality, everyone is feeling that way. Just think about that. Every single person is looking at everyone else the same way that they are. Does that make sense? Like everyone is standing there feeling like they're the only one in the crowd. No one's like, oh yeah, I got it all figured out. Even, I mean, unless you're like Oprah, but I feel like even she would be like, no, I don't have it all figured out. Even though I look at Oprah and I'm like, Mom, like I want to be her. She has such a good life. But and you know what though? The reason I admire Oprah, even though she is really like financially successful and awesome, it's not really that. The reason I admire her is because she does so many meaningful things. She has such meaningful content, so many incredible speakers on her show, and so much she seeks out so much knowledge, um, and whatnot. Does that make sense? She just seems to have a really fulfilling career. But anyway, enough about Oprah. Yeah, I just want to say that no one has it all together. Okay, we all feel the same way. Okay, the perfect popular person or whatever that you're looking at, going, oh, if only I could be them. If only I could look like them. If only I could have a life like them. They're looking at someone else thinking the same thing. We're all looking at each other thinking the same thing, and it's so dumb. And I realized this when I was like 16 years old, and I deleted my Facebook, and I kind of stopped. Like, I slowly just dropped out of the world. Like, I don't really want to compare myself to people anymore. I don't really care if people are doing better or worse than me. You can look at people doing better than you and feel so bad, or you can just only look at people doing worse than you and feel so much better. But in reality, you're just you, and that's it. Your comparisons are just in your head. They're not real. Like, your life is just going along, existing, even whether you're comparing yourself or not. And in the last few years, like, I stopped really following people on Instagram, because before I followed like 300 people, and I would see everything they posted religiously. And one day I was like, these people don't care. They don't care if I'm following them or not. Like, maybe a few of them do, like my friends, but even then, I don't think they really care if I see every single thing they post. And a lot of them don't care and don't even, like, they're not getting anything out of me following them, but I am bringing myself down, looking at all their posts going like, oh, how many likes did they get? What are they doing? What are they doing with their lives? How is their life going? Is it better than mine? Is it worse than mine? So I unfollowed, like, everyone except for, like, a few of my best friends, and now I only follow, like, our fans on Instagram because they actually want me to follow them. Like, you guys actually care. So I'm like, oh, sure, I'll follow you because you actually asked me to. What a concept. Following people who actually want you to follow them. Because, I don't know. You know what I mean? I just try to share content and create content that's actually going to help people, because I was following so many people that are just bringing me down, and I was like, this is not enhancing my life at all. It's just making me think, what should I be doing differently, in a bad way. Because there are good ways to be thinking that. Of course I care. Thank you, Eileen. Now I feel like I'm going on to a new topic. Ooh, should I go there? Should I say it? Should I talk about it? Okay, I'm going to talk about medicating, because this has been bothering me lately. I'm not talking about medication, okay? I'm talking about, like, emotionally medicating yourself. And I feel like this is something that pretty much everyone does in their own way. Some people medicate themselves with, like, drugs and alcohol or whatever, like, obvious. And then some people medicate themselves with, like, snacking, shopping, gossiping. Everyone has something they do. Oh, I scratched myself. Everyone has something they do that makes them feel better. Temporarily. Specifically temporarily, okay? If it's a long-term solution, then you're not medicating, you're just fixing the problem. Anyway, it's bad. It's so bad. Like, for me, okay, when I'm medicating, I'll be like, oh, I had a stressful day. I'm gonna go make a s'more. That doesn't fix my problem, okay? It takes my mind off of it for like 10 minutes, and I like have a good s'more or whatever, and it's fun. It's innocent, right? But then, as soon as someone starts talking to me about whatever was stressing me out again, I'm instantly stressed again. Why? Because the problem didn't go away. I didn't have a real solution. I just temporarily avoided it, and now the problem is back, and I still haven't dealt with it. Option number 2 would be I have a stressful day, I go write my journal, or I go on a walk and and listen to like slower songs and like think about things and figure out a solution for whatever's bothering me. And then I come home from my walk, or I take a bath, or I write my journal, whatever I do. I finish that, and then someone starts talking to me about the problem, and I'm not stressed again because I found a solution. I fixed the problem. I thought it through. I actually did something productive as opposed to just distracting myself. Jordan. But I love s'mores. Hi. I just saw you. I love when you watch my broadcast. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. Anyway. Yeah. I don't like medicating, and it's really bothering me that some like people in my life are doing that lately because I'm just like, it's not good. And I see myself doing it too. Like, I can't judge, I can't get mad or be like coming from a place of like you, because I do that too. I just want you guys to know. Okay, this is another point I want to make. I love that I can just keep letting my mind flow like this. It feels good. Here's another point I want to make. When you do something destructive, when a human being does something destructive, and this could be like really bad or just like kind of bad, you know, destructive to yourself, destructive to people around you. And this is kind of a controversial thought, I feel like, because people really like to condemn, but in my opinion, when a person does something destructive to themselves and people around them, I believe it almost always comes from an innocent place. It's a controversial thought. For instance, I'm thinking of an example. Basically a lot of the motivations in life is just to make yourself feel better. People just want to make themselves feel better, and they do these bad things all the time, and people judge so hard and like try to make you and try to get people to stop, but really all you're trying to do is make yourself feel better. So if someone's doing something bad to try and make themselves feel better, and then you are being rude to them about it, you're not making them feel better either. So neither of those is a solution. Really, what people need to do is just get on their own and look at themselves and be like, okay, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? It's not helping me. It's not making me feel better. But if you have all these like voices coming at you all the time, it's really hard to listen to yourself thinking and hear yourself go, oh, maybe this isn't productive. Maybe I should stop. Because all you're hearing is like, bad, don't do that. It just makes you want to rebel. This is a tangent I feel like most people are not going to understand and get mad at me for, but it's true. But I don't feel like I'm explaining it right. Anyway, we all just have these innocent motivations at the end of the day. And my motivation is I'm always just trying to make myself feel better, feel like a good person. And sometimes I do like dumb things. You know, it can be really, really harmless or really harmful, but I just do dumb things sometimes, try to make myself feel better. But in reality, it doesn't help. But anyway, the point is that I can't judge anyone else doing something destructive, even if it's not what I do, because I know that I do irresponsible things trying to make myself feel better too. So like, we're both making bad choices just in different ways. Does that make sense? Yeah. My brain's going so many directions right now. But, okay, here's the point. Here is the point. You can live a life where you're just working for the weekend. You're just waiting to get out of whatever you're doing right now. You're just trying to get off of work. You're just trying to get out of school. You're just trying to end whatever's happening and get away from it. And then you just, the weekend comes and you just drink. A lot of people just drink all weekend, or you just watch TV all weekend, or you just hang out with your friends, which is good, but you're having fun. But it's just like an imbalanced thing where you're stocked up too much on working and things that you don't like, so then you take any opportunity of time off to distract yourself and get away from it. But I don't feel like that is an ideal way to live. I feel like an ideal way to live is having a job or a family or some kind of situation, whatever it is, job, family, career, relationships, something that you actually love, where your week is good and you're not trying to just get away from it. Like, what you're doing, you actually enjoy, and you like Mondays don't suck because you like your job or you like your school, you like what you're studying, and you actually want to live the life that you're living. And then when the weekend comes, you just kind of, catch up with the people you love, and you're maintaining your relationships, and you're having fun, and you're taking a break from work, but you're not like sprinting in the other direction trying to get away from this life that you fell into, because you're actually living a life that you enjoy, that you created. Does that make sense? A lot of this is stuff that Christina has like taught me and told me about my whole life. I always feel like I can't take credit for my own thoughts because she teaches me so much. But then a lot of it I also did figure out on my own, so it's kind of a balance of both. But I just want to give a quick shout out because she does read a lot of books and then tell me about them, and then it helps me. Ask her for her reading list, I swear. Anyway, yeah, I'm just tired. Oh, I'm tired of all the people that I see hating the lives that they fell into. And that is a key term right there. A life you fell into. You don't want to be living a life you fell into. You want to be living a life you intentionally created, that you every day are like, yes, this is what I like to do and this is what I'm doing. And I'm doing it and I'm enjoying it, you know? You want to be like living a good life that you purposely live. You don't want to be falling into, oh, people around me went to this school, I'm going to this school, or people around me are in this kind of relationship, so I'm in this kind of relationship, and this is what people around me are doing, so that's what I'm doing. That sucks. Like, a lot of people around you don't have it figured out. In like, there's so many categories of life. Like, some people are really good at relationships, and then financially they suck. Some people are really good with money, but then, ouch, morally, like they're really crooked. You know, some people are really good in one way but not another, so you can like take advice from them certain ways, then other ways you want to kind of avoid it. But in general, like, no one has it all figured out, so you can't just look at one person and be like, oh, this is my role model, I'm gonna do everything they do. We really need to think for ourselves more and be an individual and okay, this is the big thing. You need to be able to hear yourself think. You need to have time in the week where you can be alone and think about stuff and hear your own thoughts and say, wait, what do I think about this? What do I think about what's going on? What do I think about what I'm doing? Do I like my clothes? Do I like my school? Do I like my relationship? Do I feel really good? Am I excited to get out of bed in the morning and start my day? Because if you're not, you need to change it. And you can. Like, there's such a victim mindset going around lately, and I really hate it. And I'm not pointing out anyone in specific because I feel like it's really a general theme of society and like so many walks of life, so many different types of people. There's this strong message of like, I need someone else to change things for me. I can't do it. I'm powerless. You ruined me. You did this. And I'm in this position because of you. But that's a really weak mindset that's not going to get you anywhere. And all of the successful people I know, and again, like I said, some people are good at money, but they're really bad at relationships. But, I mean, even just, you know, in the career field, let's just talk about that for a second. All the successful people that I've ever met do not go around saying, oh, yeah, once this person does this for me, then I'm, you know, that's when I made it. That's when my life started going well. Because they know that they're in control and they just take charge and go get it. And if you don't feel like you can do that, then you probably will never experience it because you don't believe it. But that's not my fault, and that's your fault. So, wow, that sounded kind of harsh. Anyway, I want you to take a second and look at your mindset. And really ask yourself, am I taking responsibility? Because for me, every time I take responsibility in a situation, it turns out so much better. Every time I'm blaming someone and thinking that I'm unhappy because someone did something to me, then it never goes well, okay? Every time, in any situation, if you can take any responsibility for it, then you can find a solution for that piece of it. Because it's like, okay, I'm in control of this part, so what can I do? And then things get way better. Still thinking. There's so much going on in my head. I love your nails. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Savannah. You go, girl. I just feel like I've seen so much lately, and I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, it's bothering me. I'm like, this is a main theme of the last few months. I'm like, who do I want in my life? Who do I want? Because I've been trying to make some new friends. Oh, Haley, what if your family is dragging you down and they have a negative attitude in life? You can't get away from that. Actually, you can, but it is really hard, and I totally feel you on that. With family situations, it's so sensitive, it's really hard to even talk about, but all I can say is having negative people in your family can really bring you down, but it doesn't have to fully ruin you, because you can love your family and be close with them as much as you want, and it doesn't have to change your energy, like positive or negative. You can separate from them in that way. You can love them and be close with them, but when they start talking negatively, you can cut it off and be like, you believe that, here's the boundary. You believe that, I believe this over here. I'm on this side. Like, I love you and we can bond over a lot of things, but in this case, you believe that this is not possible and I believe that it is possible. Like, you have to have boundaries between you. That's what you believe, this is what I believe. You just gotta separate it. And when people and an easier way to do that is when people start to argue with you, like don't argue with people about positive versus negative. If someone's being negative, don't try to argue with them. You're probably not going to change their mind. The best way to change a negative person's mind is to live a positive life, not talk about it, just live it. And then eventually they're going to see you being positive and be like, oh wow, they're so much happier, like how do I be like that? And they see the things you're doing, like, oh, they're working out, they're praying, they're writing in their journal, maybe I should try some of that stuff. Talking can be really effective sometimes, but only if someone wants to listen. Seeing is better, because if someone sees you happy, like they usually can't help it. It's like they see you being happy and they can't help but see the things you're doing and the differences and be like, oh, maybe I should try that. What else? What else is on my mind? Lisa, how do you actually change your life? Take responsibility. In your relationships, if people come to me like, I've been in this position too, like, oh, I have all these friends but like no one ever talks to me, or I don't hang out with enough people, or I feel so isolated. Like, I was isolated for years, like really bad. I wrote so many songs that are just like so down because I was so isolated. And I would always tried to put the blame on other people, like, they don't reach out first, they don't text me, this person stopped calling me. But if someone's not reaching out to you at all, like, you need to let them go. But if you're not reaching out to them at all, you need to step up. It has to be a two-way street, You need to, in every situation, take responsibility for whatever piece of that situation you can and change whatever you can. And then if it's like on their end, if they're just being crappy to you, you have to let them go because you can't control that. But if there's a part that you can control that you're not fixing as much as you can, then like put some more work into that. For me, that's been the most empowering thing, because like people like Christina and my dad and my older brother Michael, they're really naturally just like motivated, energized personalities, and they think about like solutions and plans and steps, and they just get places. But for me, I'm much more introverted and like timid sometimes, and I can get really discouraged really easily, where I'll just be like, oh, this task is so hard, like trying to get closer to people, trying to make a specific kind of video. I mean, there's so many things that I just get discouraged, and I'm like, I can't do it, I just want to give up. But learning to just look at situations and be like, what's my responsibility? What's in my court? What can I change without needing anyone else's help? Or what can I ask for help on and then try to change? Anytime I think of things in those terms, it makes it a lot easier for me to change, because it puts more power in my hands. I'm trying to look for more questions. What else do you guys want to talk about? I feel you. We are the same. Marcella, I feel you. Like... Danny just left. I can't tell her to come in my room because she just left. Let's see. Okay, this is what I was going to say earlier. I've been thinking about like making friends lately because I want to be more situated in my new area, and I'm just like, as I'm in this new place of like letting people in, I'm thinking it over much more now than ever in my life. What kind of people am I letting in? Because before I would just kind of be friends with anyone I got along with, but now I'm seeing you can get along with someone well, but they still might not be super beneficial to your life. And I really want to have a circle of people that I'm close with that's specifically on a really good mental level. I want people who are like successful at a young age in different ways. I want people who are good at relationships, who are good at their career, even if they're not like crazy successful. I just want someone who's hardworking. I want people who are positive, people who believe they can do things. I don't want to sit around with a bunch of like college age kids who are like, oh yeah, I have no money and I eat crap all the time. Haha, life sucks, but at least we all suck, right? And that is kind of harsh, but that's like a common dialogue. Yeah, it's a common dialogue with people my age lately. I'm noticing it makes me sad. Like, everything's super hard, but at least it's hard for everyone. Like, it's hard, but it doesn't have to be horrible and impossible, You can still be positive about it. Jordan, # preach. I don't want to be around lost people who are like struggling and like drowning. Like, everyone's struggling, okay? I'm not saying that, but I don't want to be around people who believe that they're stuck at the bottom of life, you know? And that's hard because like a lot of people live that way. It's actually like more common than positivity. But you can't just accept things because they're normal. Obviously, in my life, I haven't done that. Like, pretty much nothing about my life is normal. And that's hard though, because I don't really relate to a lot of people around my age. But you know what? Some people like feel normal in certain ways, but at the end of the day, no one's normal. You know, we all have weird things about us. We all have like weird things that we do. So, you can't just put people in boxes, even though we do sometimes, and I do that too. I'm introverted. How do I put myself out there? I just went to a therapist a few weeks ago and it was really good. I'm gonna go again. I was talking to her about like my anxiety, which I wrote about this on my Tumblr, lisasim.tumblr.com, so you can go read that long post and like life update. But basically, I've had like anxiety. I didn't know what anxiety was until like a few years ago when I started like actually talking to guys, because I was really closed off. So I just didn't really have any experience talking to guys, so I didn't realize that I had anxiety about it. And then I actually started to like go on dates or like people and talk to them more and not just be like a crush from afar. I got really anxious and I'd like throw up and stuff, and it was so bad. And I actually dated a few people in the last year, like got close and opened up my heart a little bit, and I would like have panic attacks and stuff, which is kind of embarrassing, but I'll just tell you that anyway. And my therapist was telling me, she's like, I kind of already noticed this, but she helped me put it together like consciously, that for me specifically, the cure for my anxiety is like exposure. The more that I expose myself to what makes me anxious, aka ouch, sorry, like dating and boys, then the less anxious I get. And with each guy that I dated in the last year, it was like 2 or 3, and it wasn't that long, but with each guy, it was less anxiety than before. It was more calm than before. It was more peaceful. And the last guy that I just like started dating or whatever, I was anxious for like a week getting to know him in the beginning. It's always scary in the beginning. I'm like, oh, this person wants to come into my life and know who I am, and like, ow, sorry, my nose is so itchy. They want to like know about me and like why. Like, I'm not special. Like, oh, this is scary. But then it goes away, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I am special. Maybe I do deserve to be happy a little bit. Maybe I should just let this happen and see where it goes. And then I just trust, and I just push myself through it anyway. You know, I don't want to hang out with them. I'm scared, but I just say, okay, I'll hang out with you anyway. I go do it, and then I end up having fun. I'm like, wow, that wasn't so bad. So anyway, long story short, no, I can't. I don't like saying long story short, because I already said a long story. I can't just undo it. Anyway, if you're an introvert and you're having trouble getting out of your shell, maybe exposure is just the cure for you too. You know, little bits at a time. Just put yourself out there a little more. There's something that you don't want to do. You're specifically scared of it. You need to do it, even if it's just a little step. You need to just, you know, you don't want to hang out with someone because they're scary. Just hang out with them. Text someone first. Ask them how their day was. Call someone. FaceTime them. You know, make plans. Go to a event or something that you're kind of scared to go to, and just start putting yourself out there little by little, and do things specifically that you are scared of, because every time you do something you're scared of, you will have it as a memory to look back on. Like, oh, I was so scared to go say hi to that person. But then once you do it, no matter how it goes, it's pretty much never as scary as you think it's going to be. So you can look back, the next time you want to do something, you can look back and be like, oh, last time I felt this way, I did it and it turned out fine. So now you have like more experience to draw from again. Do you have a boyfriend? No, I don't. I'm single as a dollar, but I'm talking to people. I want you as my friend. Aw. Hannah Miller, this is exactly what I needed. Thank you, Hannah. I'm glad to hear that. How do you let people in? I'm afraid to get hurt. It's the same concept. You need to just slowly expose yourself to things that scare you. And don't do it recklessly, like, oh, I need to open my heart. I'm scared of getting hurt. Let me just throw myself out there. But just like, if someone is genuinely asking for your time and attention and like wants to get to know you, let them. Give them the opportunity. Like, ouch. Ooh, in relationships and friendships and people in general, there's like a spectrum of ways you can get hurt. On one end, you can hurt yourself by putting yourself out there too much and like reaching out way too much to people that don't actually care about you that much and don't want to hear from you. And then there's the other end of the spectrum where you can, like me, my problem in the last few years, I would close myself off too much, and you just don't let anyone in, and you don't let anyone, even people who are asking for your time, you don't give it to them because you're scared everyone's just going to let you down in the end. And you have to kind of just get in the middle where you're not giving too much of your time away and putting yourself out there too much for people who don't care, but you're also not shutting people out who want to be let in, you know? You have to get your self-esteem up and realize, like, okay, I deserve to be treated well. I deserve to be close with people. I deserve to have people getting to know me. I deserve to have my thoughts heard. I deserve to have close relationships. You know, I deserve to have things that make me happy and fill up my soul. How do you stop criticizing yourself? Oh my gosh. Okay, quick history. I am / was the most critical person in the world. And that's a big statement, but I really believe that I'm one of the most critical people in the world. Like, when I was 12, like, I was such a hater, low-key. I could watch any TV show or hear any song or, like, see a picture of someone and just be like, oh my gosh, so ugly or so stupid. Like, those mean-spirited ways, like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, that sucked, that was awful. I could just find a flaw in anything. And I realized about myself, because when I realized how awful this was, as a child, you know, you're not really aware, you just kind of live, and then later on, you think about things you've done, and you're like, why did I do that? Why was I that way? What helped me feel better about it was, as I went through my life more, I realized my brain is just extremely detail oriented, so I can just see every tiny little piece of everything. So I can see all of the bad things, but I can also see all of the good things. So once I flipped my brain around more to focus on the positive aspects, I realized I could also, like, find something beautiful in anyone. I could find something good about any song. I could find nice things about anyone. Like, I can look at pretty much any guy and, like, find something attractive about him. Even, like, someone super weird, like, everyone's making fun of them, I could be like, oh my gosh, no, like, they're so cute, like, they have this, or, like, they act this way, or they do this. Like, there's something adorable about everyone, I swear. And I never thought that I, of all people, would say that, because I used to be so negative, but I really did flip myself around. So, for me, I was, like, the world's #1 hater, but I, more than anything, was my own #1 hater. Everything I did, I was so critical. Like, ooh, your arms are too this, your legs are too that, your personality is annoying, you're so quiet, no one likes you. Like, oh my gosh, the thoughts that went through my head, so negative. I just hated myself as a teenager. I was so mean to myself, and I realized, like, I was being so critical of everyone else because I was being so critical of myself. Jordan, I love that you're watching this and commenting. It makes me so happy. Anyway, I was so critical of myself, and as I realized that was wrong, the first step I did was to try to forgive myself and start to accept myself. So I would like look at things that I specifically hated about myself, like my legs. Oh no, your legs are so horrible, whatever. They're just legs, you're just a person. Anyway, I would look at my legs and be like, you know what? Whatever they are, they're fine, okay? They're fine. Like, health-wise, if I need to change something to be healthy, then I will. But appearance-wise, you know, aesthetics-wise, I'm fine. Whatever I am is good enough. It's not like I'm good enough because I'm pretty or I'm good enough because someone said this. I'm just good enough because I am, okay? I'm good enough. And I just kept practicing that with myself, and I noticed this transformation where as I learned to accept certain things about myself, I would look at other people with the same thing and start accepting it about them too. I could look at them and be like, oh my gosh, like, they're beautiful too. It's okay, them too. Like, I would look at them and see, like, ooh, my first thought would be like, ooh, their legs are this way, and then I'd be like, and that's okay. Mine are that way, and theirs are that way too, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. We're just people. Like, there doesn't have to be all this pressure and perfectionism. Like, I don't have to criticize them. I don't have to criticize myself. I don't have to be so negative. I can actually, like, notice things and then let them go. I don't have to notice a flaw and then, like, decide that it's horrible and focus on it all day. I can notice it and then just be like, okay, that exists, and that's okay, and just let it go. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. Oh, my brain is just running right now. Any other questions? I'm going to get off in a few minutes because this is really long, but I'm trying to see if anyone else has anything they want me to touch on. Let's see. Hello, Maddie, Amelia, Benjamin, Abdullah. I'm literally crying right now because I feel the same way. Oh, if you're talking about being critical, I hope you're not as critical as I was, because that's horrible. But if you are, just know that you can get over it. Hi, Mary. If anyone else has anything they want to ask me about, you can. Bella, Jacob, you can re-watch this as soon as I get off. It's going to re-upload to our Facebook, and you can watch the whole thing. What else can I talk about? Yeah, this is the thing that just keeps weighing on my brain. I just keep coming back to is quality of life, okay? Are you medicating? Are you just avoiding it? Are you just distracting yourself? Are you just living a life that you don't like and trying to get away from it? Or are you facing your problems and realizing and accepting and acknowledging exactly what they are? And are you breaking it down and taking steps to fix them and solve them? Because this is the thing in life, new problems just keep forming, okay? And that doesn't have to be a bad thing, okay? Something comes up and bothers you. You get upset about it, you find a solution, you fix it, and you move on. And then another thing comes up later, and you have a new problem. If you fixed the first problem, then now you only have to deal with the new problem. But if you avoided the old problem and now you have a new one, you have two problems to deal with. And guess what? In your life, most likely or not, you probably have more like 16,000 problems that you've been avoiding, and they're all just piling up. And the thing with emotions is, it's like a little kid like tugging on your mom's sleeve, mom, 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 mom. And then you look down, and you're like, what? And they're just like, hi. This kid just wants you to like acknowledge them. But if you don't acknowledge them, they just keep tugging on your sleeve, and they're like, hello, look at me, look at me, look at me. All you have to do is like face your feelings. If you're sad, you just have to be sad for a little bit, just let it out, and that sadness goes away. If you don't let your sadness or your anger or whatever, if you don't let my nose is so itchy. Anyway, if you don't let your feelings out, they just pile up inside. So most people, I've realized, have like tons of emotions stuck inside from like years ago. Like they literally don't go away. And I've experienced this firsthand. Ow! Sorry, my nose is so itchy. I've experienced this firsthand where I'll see a movie or something or hear someone talking about something that reminds me of something that happened in the past when I was like a kid, and all of a sudden I just start bawling, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I had all this sadness inside me from that. Like that was years ago, but it never goes away. Like something can trigger it, and all of a sudden all these old feelings come up. And I've experienced this where a whole day will get wrecked from something that's bringing up feelings from like years ago. Like my current day will be wrecked from something that happened 10 years ago because I didn't let those feelings out when they were happening. So a good way to live your life to be a happier person is throughout the day, as you get sad, as you get happy, as you get angry, whatever it is, let it come out. Free yourself, empty yourself, just let those feelings out, and then you won't have so much clogged up inside of you as you go through your day. It's so important. And for me, I didn't really know what that meant for the longest time. Like I wasn't in touch with my feelings, and when I finally did start trying to express myself, I realized what I needed to do was like journal, like writing down things like, I feel sad, I feel horrible, I hate myself, I hate my life. Like, they're negative thoughts, but I'm just writing them down to get them out. So you start with all your negative feelings, sad, angry, betrayed, rejected, guilty, ashamed, whatever. I feel this, I feel this, I feel this because this happened. This happened, it made me feel like this, and then this happened, and I hate this, and I feel like this is wrong, and I can't change this. Jordan, always allow yourself to feel. Love it. I start writing down all my negative feelings, and then at some point, whether it's been 10 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, at some point, this feeling of relief comes over me, and I feel like I've gotten to the bottom of it. And if you haven't journaled for a while, it can take a long time. Sometimes I'll write sad feelings for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But at some point, you will hit a point where you're like, okay, I'm calm now. And you can begin to think of solutions and switch to the positive. So I'll go back through, and I'm like, okay, what was bothering me? Like, I feel ugly. Okay, well, that's not true. And I start to write reassuring things. I'm like, I am beautiful. I'll be like, earlier I was thinking, I feel like I don't deserve to be in a relationship. I feel like I don't deserve to be loved. I feel like I'm never going to be successful. I feel like I can't make enough money. Now I go through and logically think like, okay, I can make as much money as I want. I'm free. I'm a human being. There's no limits on me. If whatever I want to do, I can do it. Okay, I felt like I didn't deserve to be loved. Well, that's not true. And I start writing down reassuring things like, I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be in a relationship. I deserve to one day get married. I deserve to feel like people care about me. I deserve to be fulfilled as a human being. And I write down all the positive opposites of what I wrote. So you get all the negative out, and then you get rid of it with like positive thoughts. And then I close my journal, and I'm like, whew, I feel like $1,000,000, It's such a relief, and it's such a mental shift. So I highly, highly recommend that. And sometimes like on the go, I'll be traveling or something and I don't have my journal. You can just do it in your phone. And if you don't want people to read it, like you can just delete it later. But for me, I actually really like, sorry, I'm trying to like stuff. I really like having journals because I can go back and read my old feelings. I can read, like, I write the date, I write the time, I write what was going on, and I talk about what I was feeling, and I'm like, wow. Like, I remembered that as, like, a positive day, but actually I was so sad. And it's like, oh, well, I didn't have to be sad, you know, and I went through, no, it's just weird to go back and see exactly how you're feeling in certain moments and remember, like, okay, I was lost then, and then look, it got better. And you can actually see the timeline and see that I felt like the world was over. I felt like I was a failure. I felt like things weren't going to work out. And like, oh, look, a few weeks later, things turned around. It's really nice to have that timeline. So I do like having a journal where I can keep it. It's not going to get deleted or something. But if you don't want people to read your feelings and you just want to get them out, you can just type them up on your phone and then delete them when you're done, and it'll help you. Aw. How do you handle stress? Okay, our producer Matt told Christina this great quote, and she told me, and I always think about it. He said, I love the way that he thinks about it, because a lot of stress comes from a place of, absolutely comes from a place of fear. Like, I'm scared I'm not going to get it done. I'm scared I'm going to fail. So he came from a really confident place, and he said, Christina, you're either going to get it done stressed, or you're just going to get it done. But you're going to get it done either way. I was like, oh my gosh, it's right. He's right, though. Like, I'm either going to get all my work done, like, freaking out and, like, you know, shaking and, oh, am I going to make it? Or I'm just going to get it done. You know, there is a deadline approaching and it's scary, but I don't have to focus on that the whole time. You can just get your work done. You don't have to be stressed about it. If you really think about it, you don't have to. It's not like the end of the world. You can just be like, okay, I'm just going to focus now and just do it. I think also a big cure for stress is to just start working. Like don't procrastinate any longer. Just immediately go to the solution. Tom, you make me want to be a better person. Aw, thank you, Tom. I am just thinking about quality of life lately and the people I want to be surrounded by and the things that I'm doing versus the things I want to be doing. And I'm like, man, like some ways I'm doing really well, some ways I really need to improve. And I'm just like, who do I want to be around? Who do I want to be like? Because your closest circle of friends is a good reflection of how your life's going to go. And for me, my closest circle of friends is my sisters because I talk to them so much. So even if I get in a negative situation for a few days or something, I come back to my sisters and they're immediately just naturally talking about like the most positive motivational things, and I can't stay down because they bring me back to this like psychotically positive place of like, you deserve the best things ever, just talking about things that don't even relate to me. And I'm like, oh, I should be trying harder. Ooh, it says my connection is weak. I hope this is working. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about lately. Just quality of life and what kind of person I want to be and the kind of people I want to be surrounded by. Because there's a lot of people, not a lot of people, but there's a decent amount of people trying to get in my life right now, and I'm trying to let more people into my life, and I'm like, maybe I should be really conscious about this and only make choices right now that are going to really help me. And that kind of might sound conceited or, what's the word, you know, arrogant to some people, but it really isn't, because God created us so worthy of love and happiness, and I don't think God sees us in a little peasant way. You know, it's like I don't like to speak for God, but I feel like from what I've read in the Bible and thought about in life and what I've experienced, I feel like he is a positive, loving God that like wants us to be happy. That's how I feel. And I feel like he wants us to do well. Like he doesn't want life to be awful. So like we should try to do well and try to be positive, you know? It doesn't really matter if the people around you are living really crappy lives. Like you don't have to be like them. You don't have to follow them. And why should you follow them? This live stream really changes my way of thinking. Thank you, Francisca. That's sweet. Loa Diaz, are you reading my mind? Maybe. Just kidding. I'm thinking so much. I'm going to high school next year and I'm so freaked out. Why? It's just high school. Everyone does it. Like, not everyone, but like almost everyone goes to high school, at least in America. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's a total statistic I just made up. But millions and millions and millions of people go to high school, you know, in a generation. And it's not that hard. And a lot of people do it. So you shouldn't be freaked out. It's like, you know, taking a driving test or something. It's scary. But please just try to remember that pretty much everyone does it. or at least a huge majority of the population does it. So if they can do it, so can you. You know, if you're not going to be a rocket scientist, you're not like doing some crazy thing that no one's done before, which is also possible, even though it's scary. But you know, like so many people do this. Please take the pressure off, take the stress off. And here's my advice for people going into high school or college or a new phase of your life: don't follow the crowd. Do not follow the crowd. People around you do not specifically know what they're doing. Just because they're around you doesn't mean that you should take them as your leadership. They're going to make whatever choices they're going to make, and you do not have to follow them. If you know something is bad for you, if you know something is destructive, don't do it. If you have some kind of curiosity, then maybe your life just has to go that way and you just have to try it, and that's just how you have to learn. But if you have any power at all over yourself to not make irresponsible choices, then please don't. Because at the end of it all, you know, as you get older, it's less cool to be rebellious and wild or whatever, and it's more cool to have your life together and know what you're doing. Like, I always felt so weird for not going out and like not being a wild child and like, oh, I'm so dorky, I'm not cool. And now people my age are like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? How did your life turn out this way? Like, why are you doing so well? I'm like, well, I just kind of made weird, abnormal decisions and stuck with them. I didn't really follow the crowd, and I knew that certain things weren't going to make me happy, so I didn't do them. And of course I had other problems. My struggles were letting people in and opening my heart and being close with people. That's something that I'm struggling with and trying to get better about. And some people I'm friends with are much better at that than I am, and I'm trying to learn from them. And then they're trying to learn from me how to like be successful and have a career and do well. But yeah, just don't follow the people around you just because they're around you, okay? That doesn't really mean anything. Like, that doesn't mean they're your guide, you know? So thankful and happy for this live stream. Aw, Giovanna, thank you. Lisa for president. Let's see, I think that's about it. I don't really hate school, but I hate waking up early. Waking up early doesn't have to suck. I know that it's hard, but if you go to bed early as you can and take care of yourself, like, it can actually be really fun and you can feel really productive. Meeting friends in high school could be hard, yes. Most things in life have a hard aspect of them, if not are hard in general. Everything almost. I hate speaking in absolutes. So many things in life are challenging and they're so worth it. Don't let challenges or difficulty or something being hard stand in your way. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. So what if it's hard? There's a lot of things that are hard and you just do it and then you accomplished it, you know? The hardest part is usually the mental aspect of getting yourself to do things. And once you actually do it, you're like, wow, that's so much easier than I thought it was going to be. Do you listen to Tori Kelly? I know a few of her songs, and I think she's like so incredible. I love listening to her sing. That's a random question. Yeah. That's what I've been thinking about lately. Lisa, say hi to Pedro. Hi, Pedro. Pedro. I don't know how you say that. I feel like I said it wrong. Thank you guys for watching. I feel like I should get off. I feel like I said a lot. That's just what's been bothering me / eating up my mental space lately. And tips to encourage self-love. Maybe I'll end on that. Let's see. I had a hard time accepting myself. I'm trying to remember what the process was where I actually... Can you guys tell it's slowly getting dark outside? I'm trying to remember what the process was where I slowly learned how to accept myself. I guess, for me, I'm a very, very logical person. Like, I like to think things through and make lists and break things down and analyze. So for me, I kind of just broke it down. Like, I would say things like, I hate myself. I'm like, okay, why do I hate myself? What do I hate? What are the problems? I'm like, well, my legs, my stomach, my personality. I'm not successful enough. I don't have enough followers, blah, blah, blah. Like, dumb things. And then I would be like, okay, maybe if my legs look a certain way, or my career's going a certain way, or I don't have enough friends, maybe that's not the end of the world. I was trying to trying to determine the weight of each problem, and I realized, like, I don't think any of these are actually real things that I need to worry about. Like, I tried to put the focus more on your character and who you are as a person and the way you live your life, okay? Please focus on the inner aspects. Self-love is so much easier when you focus on the right things, okay? So accept your body for the way that it looks and the way that it is. And then if you're having health issues, like if you're overweight, then maybe you should try to lose weight for your health because it's good for you and you deserve to be energized and healthy and happy. Do not try to lose weight ever because you want to like please people or like look better. Sometimes that can be innocent or not destructive, but in general, it's not a good way to live your life and it's not a good path to go down. And it's really destructive. And I went down that path for a long time trying to like change my body to make people and myself happier. And I just realized the more that I focus on my health and my strength, then the better I felt about my body and my appearance and the easier it was for me to love myself. And the more I focused on trying to please people or attract people or whatever with my image, the more depressed and unhappy and freaked out I got. So focus on your character. Focus on who you are. Focus on being a good person. Focus on loving the people around you, loving yourself. Focus on being generous with your time, your money, your energy. Focus on getting out there more and connecting with people. Focus on telling more people about things that bother you and things you're scared of. Focus on opening your heart, sharing yourself with the people around you. Focus on reading the Bible more, getting closer with God, getting more in tune with His guidance. Focus on what's inside and focus on taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. Focus on your health in every way and what is best for you and what's going to actually make you happy. Because certain things like eating a s'more, which I eat s'more sometimes, as you've seen on my Snapchat, that can be harmless, once in a while and can make you feel good for a second. But really, like, eating healthy over time and, like, focusing on taking care of yourself is going to make you feel healthy and good in the long run. Emotionally, certain things like hanging out with friends in like a fun, casual way can make you feel good for a day, and that can develop your relationships more, and that's good. But having deep talks with people and telling them about things you're scared of and opening your heart to them is going to make you happier in the long run, and you kind of need both. You need those fun, casual times, and you need those deeper, connecting, vulnerable moments, and that's what's going to really build a deep friendship. So anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about. Yeah, just focus on healthiness, okay? Focus on happiness and light and energy, and try not to worry about what people around you are doing, and just keep the focus on focus on me. Yeah, just think about what's gonna make you a fulfilled human being. You are the best person. Thanks, I try. No, I'm just kidding. I don't feel like the best person, but I'm trying to be the best person I can be. I really like you, Lisa. I really like you, Asia. That's sweet. Self-love. Self-love is hard. Self-love is good, though. Aw, Haley, thank you for sharing all of this. Literally, I've progressively become a better person ever since I found out about you. Because all of your life tips, I've taken so many of them to heart. Oh, guys. I really do want to help you guys, okay? That's, like, the reason even from the beginning when I was, like, kind of immature and just wanted to get a lot of followers on the internet, I always felt like I wanted to do more, and my priorities have definitely changed over the years, and it's just become more and more focused on helping people, sharing myself, being vulnerable, being real. Yeah. I just want to help people. I just want people to feel connected and like they have someone to inspire them, because I felt like I would just look around people that I knew, people I didn't know, people in the magazines. I was just like, what are people doing? Am I not living right? Or people around me not living right? I didn't feel like there was anyone setting a good example that I could really look up to. And I feel like I want to just give people what I didn't have. Does that make sense? Holding my lipstick. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you like this. If you want me to do more like live streams like this, just letting my mind flow, then let me know. Give this a like, thumbs up. If you want me to do more mental flow live streams, and I will, because I like this. It's so much easier than Snapchatting, even though Snapchat's fun. It's a lot easier to just get on and let my mind flow and like talk about stuff. And I like when you guys ask me questions too. You can ask me more questions in the comments after this is over, and I'll go through and try to answer as best I can. And reach out to you guys. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you want like advice or you just want to talk about anything, or you want to ask questions in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you guys. I hope you're having a good week, and I'll talk to you guys later. And I'm gonna go. Bye bye.